Cyclops jokes aside, in all seriousness, if you are going to get yourself some Blu-ray blocking glasses, make sure they are the 360 degrees one, if eye strain, if not secreting melatonin towards the latter parts of the evening is something that you struggle with, because we're if you live in Western world, a lot of screens, very, very pervasive everywhere. It's good to make sure that we're getting the yin to the yang. Anyway, I digress. I wanted to talk to you about this very, very important post regarding how you should speak to yourself in respect to actualizing everything that you would like to see come into fruition in your life. And in my opinion, it goes contrary to everything that you have been told, because so many of these cliche reality creation, transurfing, manifestation YouTubers forget a key axiom in your state of being when you have the desired reality, which is the amount of time you should be spending in a particular emotion, which I will highlight in this video here. But I'm, of course, going to give credit to the creator of this particular Reddit post, which was Snoo97227. Stop getting excited. This is the key to getting everything that you would like. Now, there are several points in this particular post I wanted to highlight that go from 1 to 7, and we are going to go through them right now. So buckle your seatbelts and we will commence, gentlemen. Number 1 is knowing you can have it all. You can have everything you want, not because you're forcing people or infringing on their free will by any chance, but because there exists in the world a infinite amount of realities that exist in the universe by the very definition of the universe we inhabit. So let's say you want an SP, a specific personnel. All you're doing is moving or reality jumping and shifting to that parallel reality where your SP exercises his or her free will to do exactly what you wanted in the first place. It's just that simple. Of course, there is something to be said about the sinister reflex that some people may have about abusing people or harming people in 3D life, and this is completely unnecessary, and I don't know why you would choose to do that. However, the question then becomes, if you have particularly good intent, how do you shift to a parallel reality? Simple. Think of yourself as having the desire, not the initial excitement. I mean, long term, feel like it's part of your life. What do you feel? It isn't a hyper-excited, bubbly, anxious happiness. It's a calm, grateful, relaxed, relieved feeling of, yes, it is all fine. I like to call this contentment. Exercising your capacity to be content with the life that you have. When is the last time, gentlemen, that you have exercised a feeling of contentment, of deep, pleasing, gratitude, relaxing, yes, contentment? If you're finding an absence of this emotion in your life, this is the reason. Give a poor man a Lambo and he'll jump for joy seeing it. Give a rich man a Lambo and he'll walk into it calmly and confidently, knowing it is his. There is no pretending. Live in the end in the most sincere way possible. When you can think of a parallel reality and feel utter calmness and peace, relief, knowing it is yours, congratulations, you have made that shift into reality, and the 3D will have no choice but to confirm. And in my opinion, this first point is probably the most important one. So many of you conflate excitement, joy, that intense, anxious, bubbly pleasure for the kind of man that you want to be. It's not true. The kind of man that you want to be to have the life that you want does not feel this way. He instead opts for the latter, a calm, grateful expectation and contentment that his life is just the way he would like it to be. That is all. Number 2, which in my opinion is one of the more harder ones. Forget the 3D, forget the Maya, forget the Matrix. It's designed to play tricks on you. So the moment that you pay attention to the 3D in a negative way, it is the moment you delay your manifestation. Don't worry, everyone screws up and gets better. Even myself, when I think around me, oh God, Joseph, it's all real. It's all real. It's not all real. It's not all real. Get rid of superstitions and the fear. It's just if you want something to happen fast, Live in the end and do it now. You can still do the stuff you want to do in the 3D, like tell people about your reality, but in your mind, you are locked into your new state and you don't budge from it. In fact, go a step further. Don't even expect it in the 3D or wait for it. That is a sign of lack. Enjoy the desire and the imagination because that's what you'll do in the 3D anyway. So we have an example here. Let's say you want your specific person in bed. Well, use your imagination in order to recreate that reality. Feel their body, their words, most importantly, how you'd feel in that state. Congratulations, you have that individual. Who cares if it also materializes in the 3D? What do you mean? Should I be delusional to the point that it happens then, Joseph? Yes. Yes. If the universe recognizes and see in you that you are so content, so grateful for the life that you have in imagination, it will notice a incongruence, an inconsistency with what you feel and what is portrayed around you. Therefore, it has to conform to your desires. It has to change because it recognizes the change in you, so within, so without. As above, so below. These are hermetic, ancient principles that you should be abiding by. But the trick is, can you always keep this state in you? Can you always forget the illusion around you? The funny part of this is when you're filled with a feeling of fullness in your 4D imagination, it will also come to you in your 3D, but it will be the cherry on top, not something that you need. If you need it in 3D, it will continue to elude you. It's that word again, need, want, desire. They all come from an emotion of what? Lack, not having, not deserving. What does this communicate to reality? That you should never have, that you should always desire, that you should always feel lack. Number 3, some of you struggle with self-worth, i.e., do I deserve all of this? Why do I deserve $100,000 in a year and an SP who worships me? Because you are a god. Oh no, the blasphemy, Joseph, has started by the 3rd point. Yes, you are God. Now, it's important for me to say where I'm speaking this from. If I say this at the level of my ego, deluded, yes. Blasphemous, yes. But if I say this at the level of my soul, it is true. It is true because are we not a divine spark of your particular deity? Whoever your deity is, whoever your God is. I once heard a very interesting definition of God, that his center is everywhere. So God is a sphere. God is a sphere whose center is everywhere and whose circumference is nowhere. Meaning, in us all, underneath the fabric of this reality, is that which you seek. You are the being that you are looking for. You are God. Does God have doubts about what he deserves? All this is an illusion. It's a single player game and you alone exist. You, God, decide to condense yourself into 3D form for the purpose of playing the game and having fun, to recognize the powers of your own divinity, your own creativity. Do you not understand? Can you stop berating yourself from wanting things? You deserve the sun, the moon, and the stars. Work on yourself concept to be glorious, magnetic, charming, radiant, powerful, and wise. If you can't do that, affirm that your Father is always flowing through you, that you are a conduit for God and filling you with this divine intelligence, power, joy, wisdom, and radiance. I mean, again, going back to the very definition of God, his omnipotence, his omniscience, his omnipresence. If that is a deity that you can believe in, that you do believe in, that it is inconsistent to not hold these 3 beliefs and to imagine that he is not within you. So again, recognize that you are God at the level of your soul, not at the level of your ego. Your relationship with your inner God is 1,000 times more important than getting your SP or manifesting a 100,000K dollar month or whatever Ferrari you want. But what technique shall I employ, Joseph? Does it matter? No, it does not. All of you are putting limiting beliefs, thinking that you need 1,000 different techniques, and you're afraid if you don't follow step 1, step 2, step 3 perfectly, and until you do that, you won't get what you deserve. Pick 1 or 2 things that get you in the most comfortable state with knowing and feeling and enjoying your manifestation being done. Whatever lets you be in Barbados now. So if you're unfamiliar with the teachings of Neville Goddard, one of the analogies he used was Barbados, the idea of that if you want a holiday to Barbados, then you shouldn't be desiring a holiday to Barbados. You should live in Barbados now. If you're in Barbados now, how would you feel? Contentment, relaxation, a calm knowing that this is what you deserve. Indeed. So irrespective of the techniques you use, if they're affirmations, if they're scripting, if they're the letter technique, if they're imaginations, cool. Use whichever one gets you most consistent with that feeling of contentment. Relax, gracious contentment. Brazen impudence is often a word that is consistent with this. You're just consistent in your beliefs until reality has no choice but to conform and mold itself around your image. All this is an illusion, my little Godatis. All this is play. Relax. You can play this game as many times as you want. All the things that you want, passionate sex, money, beaches, fame, etc., can all be had. You can reverse aging. Wake up in a reality where death is reversed, revise the past, and even wake up in the future. Everything is possible according to your beliefs. At some point, you'll realize that staying deeper in the state of I am is infinitely more important than anything material you can ever manifest. The great enlightened sages such as Saint Francis of Assisi, Ramana Maharishi, Jesus, Krishna, all the contemporaries, Rumi, realized this. Now, pause. I know for a lot of you scientific, skeptical, and logical thinkers, this will be a lot. Let me first ask you, what is your fear of believing this is true? That maybe you'll be made fun of. Maybe someone will go, oh, okay, Joseph, you're being a little bit silly. If being silly, if being delusional is the price I have to pay to get the reality that I want, I will be delusional all I like. I don't like to call it delusion. I like to call it brazen impudence. I'm willing to accept. I'm willing to say to you on camera, I'm willing to be wrong. And that's why I get everything that I want. Because I'm opening my mind, I'm opening the quantum up to the possibilities of my belief. I hold the pen to write my own story. I have read books on occult topics, on yogic culture, ancient yogic culture, where people, men, women, spirits have powers that are unbelievable. And I don't mean that, I don't say that adjective lightly. I mean, I hear stories in these books that you won't believe. You will not believe. I choose to open my mind, my creativity, my God, spirit, self-like powers open to that possibility. And that is why my life is filled with such unbelievable serendipity. So for the skeptics among you, let me ask you a question. Does it benefit your life to be skeptical? Is it resourceful for you to be skeptic? Just something to think about. If it protects your ego, your precious ego, maybe you'll say yes. But if your skepticism is holding back your creativity and preventing you from living a life that you want, I would invite you to question it. Number 6, your anxiety and fear and worry comes from you pedestalizing the 3D. Take it off the pedestal. Do not fret. Change yourself and your 3D reality will follow like a puppy following its owner. You are the creator. Funnily enough, you will notice that lots of things happen when you least expect it. Why this strange phenomenon? Because you're forgetting about your desire is a sign that you have been impregnated with your subconscious. Your subconscious has gotten to a point of no return where the desire will be birthed into 3D. How do I present this to you in a palatable way? Let's say that you want, let's say, right, I have a nice TV. I have a nice OLED TV. Do you think that in the reality that I live now, that I keep thinking about my OLED TV, that I want it to come into reality, that I'm so giddy and joyous of my OLED TV? Or do you think that I don't even think about my OLED TV until I maybe watch something on it? Do you think maybe the only time I've ever thought about it was when I just mentioned it a couple of seconds ago? What is the point I'm trying to make with this? The point I'm trying to make with this is that you should inhabit the person who is so content, who is so, again, forgetful of his manifestations because there's such a norm in his reality, that they appear superfluously, that they appear as soon as you forget about them. impregnation of your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind, by the way, comprises more than 70% of your powers, of your cognitive powers. There is an intelligence. There is an intelligence here that you need to commune with, and many people are communicating with it in a way that is skeptical and cynical of its powers to create. And you, unbeknownst to you, cause your own suffering. Look closely. You'll notice that oftentimes the things you wish for casually and with no afterthought are the things that manifest quickly, while the stuff you design as important takes days or weeks to start showing up. When you are God, there is no such thing as a big thing. Recreating a person making $100,000 a month, seeing a blue car or a ladder are equally effortlessly manifestable. You create the lens in which you are your own creator, or the creator of your joy, the creator of your suffering. Everything is love, peace, joy, kindness, gratitude, and calmness. What you are really searching for more than anything material is that deep state of confidence, control, well-being, and peace. Know thyself. This is a great place to be. Now go out there, stop trying, and just be whatever you want to be now. One last clarification. Letting go doesn't mean repression. It means whenever you think of the desire, whenever it pops into your head, you visualize the end state. None of the stories from the past, and once you know the infinite intelligence is going to bring you what you wish to pass, go do something else. Don't worry, the God in you won't forget. That is a human idea. In fact, when you stop screwing up the infinite intelligence with your conscious mind, your subconscious will be able to breathe easily and quickly start hardening and molding your 3D as you imagined it to be. One last final point for me is, even when you have the things that you want, guys, let me just dress it up in a different way. Let's say you had the money that you were making. Let's say you had the car that you have. Let's say you have the woman you have. You still have to live the day. You still have to wake up tomorrow morning and put on your trousers like the rest of us. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this in a way that encourages you to think about how you're going to behave when you have the things that you want, which is the indicator, the impetus for getting the things you want. So ask yourself the question, once you have everything that you desire, how do you live your life? What time do you, if you have, again, everything, what time do you get up in the morning? What kind of man that has the car you drive, the woman you want, the salary he deserves, what time does he get up in the morning? Does he get up at 7 a.m.? Does he get up at 6? What does he do the first thing? Does he have breakfast? Does he go to the gym? Does he fast in the morning? Does he meditate? Does he do breath work? Does he do cold showers? What does he do? Once you start getting into that mind of the individual, the feeling will follow. And then everything else. These are not theories. These are facts. Speak soon.